Work towards your passion in silence. Stop announcing all of your plans and goals, what you plan to do. The more you plan and talk to other people about what you plan to do, the more you become less serious about what you're trying to do. And it's going to be harder for you to keep your word, because you're constantly letting people know your next move, knowing what you want to do in the future and all this and that. And you then start to gain the mentality of, trying to reach validation from other people. And, you don't need to be focused on nobody else but yourself. And when you're really locked in, when you're really serious about your craft and what you plan on doing, you don't waste time explaining yourself to no one. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? In order for you to become the version of yourself that you dream to be, it requires a level of focus that you probably aren't used to having. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it could be easy for someone to tell you to focus on your dreams, but your dreams and goals are so much bigger than you and everything that you've encountered in your life. I'm pretty sure your dreams and goals are grand, and it has to be grand because having a dream, so far out, so big and so so huge as far as like wanting to have a huge house, wanting to have very well off finances, wanting to have a lot of money, put up somewhere in a stock, just having an abundance in general. It requires a level of work, you know what I'm saying, to the point where like you don't have time to talk to, people about certain things. You don't got time to be having random conversations. You don't got time for a lot of things, and this all comes down to why you need to build in silence, bro. The second you try to waste time explaining yourself to other people about what you got planned going on, why you don't have time to hang out, why you don't have time to talk, you can't do this, do that, you're wasting your time, and it's going to take focus away from what you have going on. You gotta understand. Like a lot of people don't realize once you get to a certain age, you gain responsibilities almost instantly, unless you're just somebody who just sits down, and who just doesn't work for real. If you don't have a job or if you don't have any aspirations or whatnot, and you're not really working towards anything, then this doesn't pertain to you. But to all the people out there who works and has dreams and goals, I'm telling you, bro, you achieving them goals and dreams is gonna require a level of focus that you haven't used before. Like when I say lock in, you have to go lock in. Like I mean, because a lot of y'all are really used to being lit. A lot of y'all are used to having a lot of friends, big ass friend group, doing this and that weekly. None of that shit. You can't do none of that when it's time to lock in. When it's time to really focus on your craft, get things done, and make sure that you're being hard on yourself, being a coach for yourself. Some people come to YouTube for entertainment. Some people come here for knowledge. Some people come here for advice. Whoop, whoop, you have to find your sector. You know what I'm saying? You have to come here and be focused, game, because a lot of people really need motivation and advice during their daily lives because nobody's perfect. I've taken a lot of wrong routes, a lot of wrong choices in my life, and it takes for you to hear the right type of advice for you to navigate and learn from those mistakes, because you might learn from those mistakes alone by just looking at what you have done wrong in the past. But being able to just come on YouTube and just listen to somebody who's already been in your shoes and hear what they went through and learn from everything they did so that you won't have to make those mistakes is a blessing, and it's something you need to take advantage of, man. But lock the fuck in. I don't care if you look silly. It don't matter. Don't worry about what people think. Everybody always looks silly in the beginning because it's new. Whatever you plan on doing, you probably haven't done it before, and you're probably new to that entire category. So you're gonna look silly in the beginning. It's okay. You have to have confidence in yourself. You have to have a certain type of confidence to where it's like you're able to keep going even when you know or when you feel as if somebody else or as if you feel other people are viewing you in a certain way. It's okay. It's okay, bro. Even right now, the people that you look up to on the internet, they have days right now where they look silly. Even now, after they done achieved so much success, they still have days where they look silly. So don't worry about looking a certain way, bro. Start your journey. Whatever it is you want to do, bro, start it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only so much time in this world that we have, and you got to get that shit done, bro. You have to change your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is. I started to understand capitalism after I understood how unfair and how real life is. You know what I'm saying? I say this a lot, but life isn't rainbows and sunshines. So, with that being said, life isn't fair. So you have to take certain things that life is giving you, and you have to utilize those things, bro. Like, you got to realize we live in a time where I can literally pick up a device, my phone, and watch YouTube. I can order food. I can do so much shit that humans haven't been able to do for 99% of history. So take advantage of everything that you have, man. Go get a job. Go save money. Go work towards your path. I mean, your craft. Work towards what you have planned. Make use of the time that you have now, because I'm already knowing right now, but like in 10 years, I'm knowing I'm going to feel a little bit different. I'm still going to be young, but I'm going to feel different. In 20 years, I'm going to still be, in the middle grounds in terms of age, but I'm going to feel different. You feel me? So get your shit done now. Work on what you want to do now. As life progresses, everybody chooses their different routes. And, you know, as you start to look upon that, you realize, damn, now I see why only a small percentage of people really gain success and really change their life, bro. Is because a lot of people don't have what it takes. And that's just the truth. We all have our own calling, our own purpose, but you have to find your purpose and work towards that, bro. Because I've said this before too. You don't want to live life nilly willy doing whatever. You can't live life like that. You just it's not optimal. It's not in your best interest to do that. You're better off focusing on changing your life, bro. So you have to focus on certain areas of life. You have to focus on your finances. You know, Not only that, your relationships as far as family and your overall health. Make sure that you're doing okay. You feel me? Sometimes give yourself them little small breaks. I don't work every day. I do plan on posting every day, but even for me, I give myself breaks when I'm on my off days. I do record vids and edit and post, but some days, like when I work, I come home and I rest, bro, or I play the game to buy time. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna be real with you. And that's another thing. If you play the game or something, as long as you ain't wasting money and you're not wasting too much time, bro, and you're staying out the way, you good, bro. As long as you also focus on your passion and focus on your priorities. But I've noticed that me playing the game sometimes, keeps me from, popping out outside and doing certain things and spending money here and there. It keeps me, you know, in my own lane to a certain extent, but neither here or there. You want to be focused on your passion and whatever your craft is, bro. You know, hey, bro, it is what it is. You have to be the one to change your life. You know, I come on YouTube and I see so much inspiration and so much, you know, things in life that I just want to achieve and grab. But it's like life is just showing me everything that I want. Like, cause before I started thinking in a different way, I wasn't seeing certain things out of life, or maybe it's because I wasn't paying attention to it. But when you change your mindset, when you focus on different things, when you aspire to live a better life for yourself, you're gonna have no choice but to change. You're gonna have to change, bro. You're not gonna be the same person that you was a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago. I'm far from the person that I was 2 years ago, 1 year ago. I'm far from that person. I'm a totally different person now, and that's because there's so many things that I've learned, so many things that I've came across that gave me insight. So many lessons that I've done experienced. It's like overall, it's like kind of making me a better person, kind of making me more prepped for life, and that's where you want to be, man. You want to be set off for life. You want to be able to help out your family whenever they need help, or take time out the year to go on vacations and enjoy life overall. That's the whole goal. That's the whole purpose of my channel, is obtaining that type of lifestyle. And I'm sure the average person wants to live that type of lifestyle, but hey, man, it takes a certain type of sacrifice, and that goes back to what I was saying. Everybody doesn't have that in them to take that leap of faith, even when they're not ready. Work towards their goals, even when they're not seeing the results that they want to see. It's going to take for you to have that type of mindset to achieve your goals, man. And this goes back to what I was saying: build in silence. It takes for you to work in silence for you to really get things done, because a lot of us can remember back in high school, you know, when you're like say if you like working on a test right now, the more people you have around you, the more distractions. Even if it's a quiet room, nobody's talking, it's still kind of going to be a little hard to like focus, because there's just so many other people around. But when you're alone, when you have the time to you know focus on what you're working on, without no distractions, no one around you to affect your mentality, or your mindset, you notice that you can unlock a different version of yourself, that version of yourself, to where it's like nothing can stop you. You're in flow state. And that's where you want to be at all the time when it comes to your finances and working towards a better life for yourself, man. But, you know, and I'm not perfect, I say this all the time. I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm nowhere near where I want to be at in life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't achieve certain things, certain goals I set for myself. You know what I'm saying? But it's so much more out of life that I want for myself, and I know it's gonna take so much more work, and that's why I'm pushing out this type of content, because you know I believe in energy and frequency. So the type of things that I'm speaking on, I low key think that like life has no option but to eventually give me those things, because you know energy is real, bro. You'll learn sooner or later, bro. But like whatever you keep consuming, you know, whatever you speak out in life, whatever you assume, all of that shit affects reality, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've learned it in different times of my life, where it's like if I expected certain things to happen, if I, said certain things about certain situations, or even towards myself, I realized me speaking in that way, or just being in that type of energy alone, it will affect, and it'll kind of, you know, show, and this is just something that I've learned through life, and I'm passing on to y'all for y'all to gain, you know. But yeah, man, build in silence. Stop announcing your goals. Stop telling your friends, your family, what you plan to do, because no one is going to do the work needed to achieve those goals, but you, but you, no one but you. That's the biggest lesson that everyone needs to learn, because growing up, a lot of our parents don't really talk to us about life, tell us like how real life is, and type of responsibilities and the weight that we're going to have to eventually carry on our shoulders. A lot of our parents don't prep us for that. So you're going to have to realize you're going to have to be the one to change your life. You're going to have to be the one to wake up every day, even when you don't feel like it. You know, you have to be your own motivation, your own inspiration. So find that part of yourself and become the best version of yourself, bro. You have no choice. You have no choice but to change your life and to elevate your life. Or else, bro, you're going to be off somewhere, you know, stressing and worrying about certain things that, could have been avoided, and it's all about what you do with your time that you have been given on this earth. You know what I'm saying? Plan out what you want to do, plan out the time that you're going to put in as much work as possible, and lock the fuck in. Focus. Take the time out away from your friends, your family. It's okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand what's more important, your future or the quick, gratification that life gives you every day. You know, gambling, getting high and not working on your passion. All these short term, dopamine, you know, it's not good for you, bro. So lock the fuck in and work on your passion, bro. And I'm gonna catch y'all next one. Peace out.